Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 136. The album that we'll be reviewing today is Dr. Dre's presents the Aftermath album released in 1996. By now you guys should know who Dr. Dre is. You know, he was part of the supergroup NWA at one point. They released two albums and an EP. They put classic material. And then after he left the group around '91, he released his first album, the Chronic album. I did a review on that. Definitely check that out. Definitely one of the most influential albums to come out of the '90s. Well, in hip hop in general, hip hop history in general. Cause like I said, like if you listen to albums like especially the East Coast, if you listen to albums like UMC's second album, Unleashed. Leaders of the New School, their second album. Even I forgot to mention L. Cool J's 14 Shots to the Dome. They kind of went on a more gangster route, and then you got to think, like I said, West Coast of gangster rap because G-Funk. Because at that time, like I said, G-Funk was considered commercial at the time because that was hitting the airwaves and stuff like that, the radio and stuff like that. It's like how, like right now, like in the South is like pretty much raining the radio stations, and there's people from all over regions, New York, L.A., even L.A. is copying the South. They copying the sound of the South with the trap drum, with the drum rolls and the rolling hi-hats and stuff like that. So things like that. But yeah, man. So it's just funny how things work in its time. But yeah. So right after the Chronic album, he started working on Snoop Dogg's first album, Doggy Style, which is critically acclaimed. Yes, I will be doing a review on that. Stay tuned. Don't worry, because I know some of you guys been asking me to do a review on that album, so I definitely will. I gotta do the Chronic album. And then I ordered some other CDs and stuff too. So, but yeah, I'll eventually get to the album. Hopefully, it's not too long, but I will get to it. Don't worry about that. But anyways, he was working on that album. Like I said, that shit sold like millions of copies. I think it went triple platinum or some shit like that. I don't remember. And then right after that, he was working on. The Murder Was a Case soundtrack, which there was a movie for that, like based on Snoop Dogg's trial that he was going at the time and stuff like that. Dope soundtrack. So I don't have it in my collection. I need to get it. They put that out, and then I believe around this time, like around after '94, I think he was working on his second album. I believe it was dubbed The Chronic 2. I'm just going based on what I've read, like on dubcnn.com, like, because they had like rumors and stuff like that. He was working on that album, but that album never came to fruition. And he was also working on, supposedly, on a collab album with Ice Cube called Helter Skelter. And the song that you can hear was the song Natural Born Killer, which was featured on the soundtrack to that movie, Natural Born Killer, with Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis. Dope movie, by the way. But also that's another song that's another album that never came to fruition. And also Dr. Dre has also came out with a song called Keep the Heads Ringing, which was featured on the Friday soundtrack, and that kind of hinted that he was actually working on the album. But like I said, the album never came to fruition. Why, I don't know. It's a shame, actually. And then and at this time he was still with Death Row and stuff like that. And you guys heard stories about Death Row with the party sessions, with the studio sessions, as well as like the beatdowns that they were getting and shit like that. And Dr. Dre was getting turned off by that. I was like, man, fuck this. I'm all about the music, man. I'm about the business. And Suge Knight wasn't really about that. He was all about having fun. Yeah, he was about his business, but at the same time he was about his shit. He's about his reputation. Don't fuck with me. I'm not the nigga to fuck with. Dr. Dre kind of felt some type of way about that, and he bounced. And so, so in 1996, he actually left Death Row, and he formed Aftermath Records, and this is why this album came to fruition. All right. Yeah. So moving on. There's 3 singles of the album. The singles are East Coast, West Coast Killers by Group Therapy, which is consisted of RBX, Nas, KRS-One, and Be Real from Cypress Hill. Those are that's the single. Been There, Done That, which they have a video for. That's a Dr. Dre soul track, and which is a single, but it's not really talked about as much. Is a song called Please by Maurice Wilcher, who's like an R&B singer. Alright. So those are the singles of the album. The producers in the album, believe it or not, Dr. J does not produce the whole album, so I'm gonna get through the producers in the album. Dr. Dre, obviously, Stubby Doo, Melman, who else? Buddha, Floyd Howard, Flossie P, Glove, Buddha, like I said again, Maurice Wilcher, let's see who else, Rose Griffin and Rodney Duke, Stubby Doo, like I said again, and Buddha. Those are the producers in the album, alright? Features in the album, RC, which is the acronym for Ruben Cruz, he's an R&B singer. Sid McCoy, who's like he's a rapper. Yeah, KRS-One, Nas, Be Real, and RBX. Melman, who actually has a song, like a solo track. RBX, like I said again. Kim Summerson. Miscellaneous, which is the group. Yeah. Hands On. It's an R&B group. It's an all-girl R&B group. King T. Shout out to King T. Dope MC from Compton. You guys, I know you guys heard me mention him on the when I did the Alcoholics album reviews and stuff like that. So definitely influential with the whole Alcoholics group, you know, Exhibit and stuff like that. So Maurice Wilcher, Gerald Lockhart, RC again, like I said, Ruben Cruz, Who's Who, Sharif, and Now. Those are the features. There's a lot of features. Alright. You know how I get down, break through some of the songs and stuff like that. Track 1, the Aftermath, the intro, that's featuring RC and Sid McCoy. Dope beat. I love the beat. It has like a really dark synthesized sample. I mean, not sample, but dark synthesized beat, and the bass line is dope. It's like how the bass line comes in after the synthesizers. The drums are fucking ill, very crispy, you know, things like that. Sid McCoy, he's the MC. He raps one verse, and then RC is like the singer. He does like a little verse right there, but he's singing it. That's pretty dope. Very dope way to start the album. It kind of sets the tone of the album, in my opinion. Very dope. Then you got track 2, Group Therapy. East Coast, West Coast Killer by Group Therapy. That's featuring RBX, KRS-One, Be Real, and Nas. Dope video. There's a video for that. Very dope. Definitely has that signature Dr. Dre's sound to it, but it's very different. It's a lot more darker compared to his earlier stuff. Yeah, man, very, very dope. It's a shame that they never became a group, because they all did their thing. RBX did his thing. KRS-One did his thing. Be Real. They all did their thing, man. They sound good over Dr. Dre's beats. KRS-One, I was kind of worried, because, you know, at this time KRS-One, he's known to rap over like jazzy boom bap beats, like soul beats and stuff, soul boom bap beats. So I was kind of worried, like, you know, he's used to working with, like, you know, Primo, you know, Diamond D, you know, cats like that, but he actually sounds good over Dr. Dre beats. Yeah, yeah. Then you got the song Mailman, Shitting on the Wall by Mailman, who's also a producer too. Mailman, he actually he's done stuff for like I believe Spice One, MC Breed and cats like that. I believe he's from Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. But you'll hear, if you guys are familiar with Dr. Dre, especially in his latest stuff like Chronic 2001, Mailman should definitely be familiar. He should be a familiar name. But yeah, he actually does a song, Shitting on the World. Pretty dope song. Pretty dope song right there. He actually does his thing on that joint right there. Dope beat right there too. Uses the same sample that Real Live used for the song. I forgot the name of that song. But uses the same sample and stuff like that. Then you got my dude RBX with Blunt Time. Self-explanatory. If you guys know RBX, he was actually featured on the first Chronic album. And if I'm not mistaken, what I was reading about on RBX was that he didn't sign the contract with Death Row Records. So like he left after the Chronic album. He kind of left Death Row. He was doing his own thing and stuff like that. And from what I understand, he was actually doing shots at Dr. Dre. You know, like saying like, oh, he's this and that. But then I think they made up right after he left Death Row Records. Dr. Dre left Death Row Records and stuff. They reconciled and stuff like that. And that's why, you know, he joins the Aftermath Records, and he's actually featured on this album. So, which I didn't know. I thought that was pretty interesting to know. But Blunt Time, you guys should know Blunt Time. You know, it's all about smoking weed and stuff like that. Pretty dope track right there. Excuse me. Then we got the song Been There Done That with Dr. Dre. That's a single as well. It's a soul track, dope video, dope beat. You know, in this song she's actually talking about, you know, I've been there, done that. You know, there's all this gangster shit is not me. Well, not to say it's not him, but it's played out. You know what I mean? It's like you know, the life is such a better place. There's no need for you to be claiming how gangster you are. Like, I've been there, done that type of thing. You know, it's kind of played out, and that's what I got from that track right there. Pretty dope right there. Pretty dope track. Track 7. No, I'm sorry. That's track 6. Choices. Featuring Kim Summerson. That's an R&B track. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was alright. That wasn't too bad. Then you got Miscellaneous, track 7. As the World Keep Turning by Miscellaneous. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool track. Not too bad right there. Track 8. Got Me Open featuring Hands On. That's another R&B track, you know, right there. That was pretty cool. Track 9, Straight Gone, by King T. I mean, King T, he's one of my favorite MCs from the West Coast. I mean, I feel like he doesn't get the shine that he deserves, in my opinion. You know, when people think of West Coast legends, obviously they always talk about Eazy-E. You know, they always talk about Ice Cube. They talk about Ice-T. You know, they talk about Eazy-E. You know, cats like that. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, obviously. But they never mention King T. And it's sad because I feel like King T, you know, he is Compton, in my opinion. Like, he breathes, sleeps shit Compton. And when you listen to his music, like, you could feel this shit. Even MC8, they don't even talk about. DJ Quick, they rarely mention. But yeah, very dope song. That was produced by Buddha. That song, you know, it actually sounds like a Dr. Dre beat. You know, something Dr. Dre would have done. You know what I mean? It's very, very dope. Track 10, Please by Maurice Wilcher. That's an R&B track as well. There is a video for that. I'll post that down in the description box right there. Track 11 is Gerald Lockhart with Do For Love by Gerald Lockhart, excuse me. That's another R&B track that's produced by Buddha. That's another R&B track too. Track 12, Sexy Dance with RC, Ruben Cruz. That's another R&B track as well. Track 13, No Second Chance. Who's Who. That's another R&B track right there. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool, I guess. Track 14, Law, which is an acronym for Lyrical Assault Weapon, excuse me. That was by Sharif. That was produced by Stubby Doo. Sharif, I believe he's from Brooklyn. You know, it's just kind of weird in a sense because, you know, a West Coast MC on a West Coast, I mean, excuse me, an East Coast MC on a West Coast record label, but you know, I guess he moved to LA at that time or whatever, or he was still in New York, but he raps New York to the fullest. Like, you can hear it in the beginning of the tracks. Like, yo, I just want to give a shout out to Crown Heights, to Brooklyn, and all that shit. So, you know, just does this thing. It's another lyrical. It's just him turning up the mic and stuff like that. That was a pretty cool track. And last but not least, well, no, excuse me. Now, when National Now, or Nation Now, I think that's how you say it. That's another R&B track right there. That was pretty cool right there. And the last track, which is not featured on the booklet, but it's a song called Fame, which RC pretty much ended, which ends the album and stuff like that. That was an alright track too. Alright. Oh, I forgot. Show you guys the album cover. Show you guys what the album looks like. Sorry about that. I've been slipping. See Melman right there, shitting on the world. You got my dude RBX right here. You got Dr. Dre. I'm pretty sure you guys seen that picture before. Ken Summerson, beautiful girl. Got Miscellaneous right here as a group. They got Hands On, pretty cool. They kind of remind me of like a mixture of like Total and SWV. They kind of remind me of that. Give me 1 second. Let me change the song. Alright. Yeah, Hands On, beautiful women right there. King T, chillin', repping LA to the fullest. Maurice Wilcher, the R&B singer, got him singing by the piano. Gerald Lockhart just chilling right here, nigga, like fucking T-Pain and shit. Excuse me. Then you got Ruben Cruz, RC, R&B singer as well. Who's Who, right here is the R&B group right here as well. Then you got Sharif, my dude Sharif right here from Brooklyn. Then you got Now. Then right here, you got Flossy P, Dr. Dre, Glove, Stubby Doo, and Buddha. Those are the producers on the album. Alright. This is what the album looks like. The actual CD, right here. Has like that atomic bomb, you know, explosion type of look right there. Pretty cool. Alright. My verdict of the album is a pretty good album. I like it. But there was a couple flaws with the album. You know, the fact that, you know, you would think because it says Dr. Dre, you know, you would think that this was, you would think that it was a Dr. Dre, you would think it was a Dr. Dre album. So guys, this is not Dr. Dre's second album, because all these years I thought this was his second album. I was like, yo, why do people never talk about this album? Well, because this album was actually a compilation album, because like I said, he left Death Row, wanted to start his own thing, and this is the result of that. You know, my only gripe with this album is a little bit too much R&B tracks. I understand he was trying to branch out, but you know, like, and you know, it's just, some of the songs were good, I liked it, but it didn't really fit the album, but it did, if that makes sense. But it wouldn't have made sense if it was a Dr. Dre solo track. But I guess, like I say, he was trying to branch out. He was trying to introduce like the world to his new artists to the world and stuff like that. So which is why he has some R&B, several R&B tracks and stuff like that. I just wish some of the beats were all Dr. Dre beats, you know what I mean? But again, you know, it was a new record label. It was a new record label by Dr. Dre. I guess he wanted the producers to get shine. So I respect that, and I respect that about that. You know what I mean? That was like my only gripe with the album, like a little bit too much R&B tracks. And I like R&B, but you know, coming with from Dr. Dre, I wasn't expecting that. But you know, it is what it is. The production was dope. Like I said, some of the production was dope, even though they weren't done by Dr. Dre, not all of them. And I think that's why a lot of people didn't like this album either, because it went platinum, but it just didn't get the shine because, you know, people were expecting a Dr. Dre album, not realizing this was a compilation album. So you didn't really get a Dr. Dre solo album. You got like a compilation album, just him, just giving shine to his new artists and producers as well and his team. And yeah, man, I like the album. Very underrated. Not his best work, but you know, very dope in my opinion. I do like the beats. I do like Dr. Dre's beats around this time, like around 94, 95, 96. You know, because he had like a dope sound. He had like a really dark sound to him. You know what I mean? I really fucked with him. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, overall, man, dope album. If you can find it, pick it up, because I believe it's actually out of print. Like I said, it went platinum, but it didn't do very well. People wasn't really feeling it, because like I said, people wanted a Dr. Dre solo album, excuse me. But if you're a Dr. Dre fan, you definitely should own this in collection. And that's pretty much it, guys. I will definitely be doing a review on the Chronic 2001 album. Stay tuned for that. But like I said, definitely give this album a chance. Go with an open mind. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, this album's out of print, but if you can find it, pick it up. And that's pretty much it, folks. So hope you guys enjoyed that review. Stay tuned for more. Peace.